The rice was brown, and soon they found that the crowd around that had jammed the room, well, it seemed to be getting thinner. I'm not getting any thinner. In fact, just the opposite. Probably a slowdown in my metabolic rate, or the fact that I've been doing hard physical work for a long period and then suddenly stop. And of course, I am 53, which, there you go. Your metabolism will slow down as you get older, unless you have some thyroid problems. But there you go, and I don't care. That's the best of it. I'm not going to stress over it because stress is the killer. Is a killer, but it does kill. No matter what you're stressing over, some things are probably worth stressing over. Like if your house is on fire, I would sort that out immediately. But long-term things, like getting a bit podgy, bit middle-aged spread. So what? I'm middle-aged, so I'm going to spread. Anyway, I went to Whitby this morning. A bit of a fruitless journey because I was after some fruit and I didn't get any because everything was shut. What's going on? Easter Sunday? What the hell? What does that mean? Some like Father Christmas type person, meaning a non-existent person, was killed and then came back to life again. Oh yeah, just same as the flying reindeer pulling a sleigh. Same kind of fantastic nonsense. So there you go. But Whitby is such a draw for people, such a tourist attraction. God knows why. I try and spend the least time in the town as I can. I haven't been to the town for some time. I just go on the outskirts usually, and that's bad enough. But today on the main road, I have to turn around onto the main road into Whitby, and it can be a long time. I wasn't that long this morning, to be truthful, because I just saw the opportunity and took it. Anyway, enough. I want to get on with the other things today, so I'll try and be brief. But then this subject demands that you spend a lot of time on it, because you can't just sum it up in a couple of paragraphs. It's a great deal more involved than that. And one of the main responses to people who still believe, amazingly, that they live on a nature-defying, if I can use those words, thank you, nature-defying, nonsensical, spherical space ball, falling, spinning, flying through the ridiculous concept of the infinite vacuum of Star Wars, Doctor Who, space, Star Trek, Beam Me Up Scotty, space, which is just a great premise for fairy tales. It doesn't exist. You cannot have gas pressure next to a vacuum unless you have a barrier, a solid barrier. So, again, challenge to anybody who still believes in the ball earth, if they can present a vacuum or next to a gas pressure without a barrier, then I'll start thinking maybe Captain Kirk wasn't on a set for television. But I know he was. He didn't really fly in anything. In fact, I watched some time ago on, I don't know, I can't remember whose channel it was. It was very good because they had an old episode of, oh God, was it $6 Million Man or was it the Fall Guy? But it was with um, oh, I can't remember his name now. Anyway, it's William Shatner, of course. William Shatner just happened to be in the episode, guest starring William Shatner. I'm sure it said that. And they were up in an aircraft or a balloon or something. They were flying high in the sky, and William Shatner just happened to say, "It's flat. The Earth is flat." And that sort of clip somehow, whether it was in the original TV episode or not, I don't know. It could have been an outtake, but it made me laugh because he was speaking the truth. So there are still people, unfortunately, that believe in this bullshit. And yet, if they examined their belief, they wouldn't find any concrete evidence that's backed by real science to prove their belief. And I say belief because that's what it is. If it was knowledge, then it would be backed by real science. That's what makes a true ism, or the truth, or not just your truth. I can tell you my truth right now. I went to Whitby this morning. That's my truth. It is the truth, but it's not everybody's truth. But everybody's truth is that the Earth is not a spinning ball. Water remains level. Large bodies of water will always seek their level and be level. What more proof do you need? I don't think you need any more. Well, I'm positive that you don't need any more. Boats going over the curve is a ridiculous idea, which can be totally dismissed by the powerful zoom lenses you can buy these days. Now, if you're not lucky enough to have a powerful zoom lens, you could borrow one possibly from a friend. But again, do that thing. But again, that's not on optical, and you can't really base much on the optical because it changes on a daily basis. But if you can see a boat disappear over the horizon and then bring it back with a zoom lens, that has to dismiss the ridiculous ball theory. And it's always been a theory, just like evolution has always been a theory. It's never been scientifically proven, and there are many people who drop out of that type of education, the further education, because they know that it's not real. It's not correct. There are too many maybes and ifs and imaginings to make it in any way self-evident. So there are many things that are self-evident, like there's blood in my veins. All I have to do is cut myself. There you go. But I would rather not do that to prove it. You just take that as a given. And like many people take the idea of the concept of the spinning ball Earth as a given. Yet they shouldn't, because it's in no way given. And when you look into it, and I urge all people who don't understand this or don't believe me. Well, I've said don't believe me, but look into it. If you still believe in the ball Earth, look into your belief and realize then that it is a belief, like the people who will be worshipping the resurrection of what was his name again? Will probably concede, if you ask them, that it is a belief. They have no proof of the existence of this person, Jesus, or any proof that he died, or any proof, certainly no proof that he came back to life again, or, like I say, that he ever existed in the first place. And that's great. They can have their beliefs, as long as they don't think in any way that it is a proven fact. And most people who believe in the spinning ball nonsense would probably look upon people who thought, well, who, like me, I know that we don't live on a spinning ball. And they probably think that is an outrageously ridiculous and pre-medieval opinion. But it is, for one, it's not an opinion. We don't know how far back this ball earth nonsense came in, but I suspect it was media, television, well, radio before that, and then the faked moon missions. They kind of drove it home to the people who were gullible enough to believe it, and I was one of them. I must say, I was one of them. I didn't think that people would lie. What a fool. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. Now, the bigger the lie, the less likely you are to disbelieve the lie. How about that? That is another fact, a very sad fact, but it's true of humanity. So I urge you not to believe anything, and to look into the fact that we don't live on a spinning ball, because it's so obvious if you really think about it. You would be flung off at the equator due to centrifugal force, and the centripetal force, which it has to remain the same. How come that wouldn't be the same at the... Well, how come the centrifugal force, which couldn't be the same at the poles, yet we don't feel any difference? That's ridiculous. Like, things should weigh less at the equator, but they don't. There are so many something going on out there. There's so many flaws in the concept of a spinning ball. The most obvious to me being water bending round a ball, assuming the shape of the ball. That it just wouldn't work. And you're always on top of the ball. That's what they say. Or you're always on top of the ball. Well, how can you be on top of the ball if somebody's over there, 1,000 miles over there, they think they're on top of the ball as well? Don't be a fool. And again, if you believe in the ball, you probably think, I'm the fool. But it's your own ego that won't allow you probably to even look into it. And if it does allow you, the attitude that you come to this is with the knowledge that you're living on a spinning ball, and you could never accept the alternative, which is, well, and the truth, which is that, of course, it's not spinning, it's not in a vacuum, And, of course, it's a plane. Planes prove that. Planes could not take off and land on a spinning ball. Oh, but the atmosphere goes with it. Come on. How could that possibly be real? If the moon pulls our oceans, which is a far heavier substance, water, than air, how come it just doesn't pull all the air off? No, it's a very silly, childish, nonsensical belief in the spinning ball. Now, there is some thought that the people who know the Earth is flat are also this elitist group of weirdos, even, and we think that we're above everybody else because we have discovered the truth. Well, there is some truth in that, as in we have discovered the truth, and we think differently, perhaps, to the people who will just say will just do what the authorities tell them to do. Oh yes, good people that just yes sir, I'll do that, sir. But I've never really been like that. I've always tried to push against the authority. I don't want people telling me what to do. I'll find out and make my own mistakes and by myself. And it was a pain in the ass to anyway, yeah, to teach and all that. But I have been a bit of a problem or I am a bit of a problem when it comes down to that. But there you go. Now I've spoken enough. It's up to you to discover where you really live. But I can tell you without fear of contradiction that you do not live on a spinning ball. If you still think you do, you've got a lot to learn. And the learning process, although it's not easy, when you come out the other side, I don't want to say you've been reborn, because that's like born again bollocks, but you do feel free somehow. You get a load off. It changes your whole perception of life. Anyway, in a good way. So don't say, oh, it's fucking shit. Oh, you'll hate me forever if you do. No. And anyway, I hope you do look into it. And life is too short to live a lie. And it's about time you discovered the truth. And Mike's channel. Ta-da.